3, 2, 1. And we are live. Alright guys, welcome back to the live stream. I see here it has been already over 21 days yet again. 3 weeks of not streaming. I usually wanted to make it a habit to stream at least once per week every Sunday, but lately it has been so busy. So unfortunately, again, 3 weeks passed. Guys, if I talk a little bit funny today, it is due to me undergoing a procedure. It's not really a procedure, it's a little gadget that I have here in my mouth. It is called the Invisalign. No, this is not an advertisement whatsoever. I'm not sponsored. I'm genuinely just telling you this in case I talk funny. Due to veganism, dear vegans, in case if you're listening, 4 years straight I wrecked my dental health. That is the truth of it, and this is when my teeth started rotting and they actually even started to get crooked a bit. One tooth had to get pulled on top of that. Quite amazing health benefits of veganism, yay yay yay. And this is why now finally in my mid-30s I decided to use the Invisalign to straighten out my teeth again. So yet again, if I'm talking a bit funny, I have to get adjusted to that thing. Otherwise you will have to bear with me for pretty much half a year from now on. I have to wear this thing for half a year. Not really the best move if you are on YouTube. But well, it is what it is. Guys, how's everybody doing? I hope you're doing great. As always, super chats, Streamlabs donations will be prioritized in the Q&A. You can see it in the chat box. I attached it right at the top end. And there you can just click on the link and donate to the channel like this. You can support Bobby's Perspective, you can support my work, and like that I will definitely see your question and answer it right away. Those questions don't only have to be questions. Moreover, super chats can be used for video recommendations, for example. If you want me to react to something, articles that we can read together, what have you. It doesn't matter what it is. This is what super chats are for. So feel free to support the channel, guys. Alright, that being said, now let me actually open up the chat box here. And let me see who is here. Yes, Happy New Year as well, guys. No, this is not a religious holiday. I know that many people do not celebrate New Year's. I'm simply saying Happy New Year's. All the best of health, best of luck, prosperity for you and your families for the new year. I look like a white DJ Khaled. Am I that fat? Any tips of how I can get information about a good diet? Just check my channel and my old videos, so from roughly 2 years ago. This is where I still talked predominantly about diet. And there is the first super chat. Thank you very much. And there you will find plenty of good information still. It's still on my channel, where I talk about animal-based nutrition. Animal-based diets in general. So we have our first super chat by Upcut. We have $10. Thank you so much for the super chat. Unfortunately, no question attached. As I always say, guys, if you donate, please attach a question or something that you want me to react to. So it is a win-win situation. You're supporting, and at the same time I can give back, but Upcut didn't attach a question. Nevertheless, thank you very much for the first super chat of tonight. Let me give you an applause. Refreshing. A little bit of water with diluted mango juice. Not bad. Not bad at all. That's right. Hi Bobby, why are you so arrogant? Am I arrogant? Really? I think sometimes people confuse confidence with arrogance. Not arrogant, I would say. But if I give that impression, that is fine as well. Okay, we get plenty of questions here. I'm trying to answer a few of them, as I said, guys. If you really want your question answered, you will have to go through the Super Chat or the Streamlabs donation button. Salam to Australia and g'day. You keep your beard like a Muslim, man. I think you are Muslim. So being a Muslim is much more than a beard, I would assume. I know plenty of good Muslims that do not have a beard. But that being said, I kept this beard for 10 years now. I trimmed it here and there. Sometimes it was longer, sometimes it was shorter. But in general, it has been roughly 10 years. When I was 25, my hair thinned out a bit. Thank you very much for the Super Chat. Actually, we have 2 Super Chats I just saw. Thank you very much for the 2 Super Chats. First we have Leila Mohammed. 3 Super Chats. No, that is the one. Leila Mohammed, thank you very much for the £4.50. And we have Ali Shinshi, who donated 320 yen, or is it rupee? I'm not too sure. I think it's yen. Thank you very much. Either way, no matter what the currency is, thank you very much for the support. But yet again, no question attached. Guys, you're killing me. The Super Chats are for questions. That's the whole point. But thank you very much, nevertheless. I appreciate it. Bobbysperspective, can you decrease the stream delay? What do you mean? There is no delay. We are live right now. Do you mean the intro itself? No, I can't. I always set the intro because that's when I'm getting everything ready. Boomer Bobby is not so tech savvy. I'm really giving it my best. And therefore, no, I cannot change that. Verlith, good to see you, brother. It's yen. Yeah, well, thank you very much for the generous donation. I appreciate it. Have you read the whole Quran? Yes. Duh. That's why I did the video. This is how this whole journey here started. I read the Quran in my privacy first, and then when I was finished with the Quran, roughly 2 weeks or so after I finished the Quran, I finally came around and announced it on my YouTube channel, because this is something that nobody would have expected back then. And I talked about it in my video, that I read the Quran as a Christian. So if I say I read the Quran, yes, I read the whole Quran, of course. Of course, it is the translation of the Quran. That being said, so I didn't read it in Arabic, because I do not speak Arabic. But I didn't read the Bible in Hebrew either, or Greek. So therefore, yes, I read the English translation of the Quran. We're getting a lot of spams that Andrew Tate got arrested. Why don't we just wait it out and see what has happened before we judge that prematurely anyhow? That's what I would say. So let's just wait it out, see what's what, and then we go from there. Ah, delicious. Hello, hello. Assad, good to see you. Do you speak Macedonian? Da. Zbori Makedonski. In German or English? In English. I read in English, not in German. I haven't read anything really in German in the past 10 years or so. Maybe even longer than that. I always get the English copies. Thank you very much for the super chat. You want to kill me today. You want to destroy me, guys. Thank you so much for the generous donation of 10 Canadian dollars. Again, no question attached. What is going on here? Why? Why don't you want to ask a question? That's amazing. I appreciate it, nevertheless, guys. But yet again, this is what the super chats are for. Especially the Streamlabs donations. If you can, use the Streamlab button. Hey, we have a question. Thank you very much. I'm going to read it out in a second. So, the Streamlabs donation button is preferred because the Streamlabs donation button goes straight to the channel. With the super chat, YouTube is taking 30% of your money. So, it's better if you use Streamlabs. Nevertheless, thank you either way. Okay, now, Verlith, good to see you, brother. We have a super chat of 10 euros. Merci beaucoup. Hey, Bobby, good to see you too. Yeah, it's good to see you too, go. Have you tried praying like a Muslim? When I did, could not but submit completely and stayed in prostration for about 20 minutes at the end. I speak Arabic, though. That is a big plus, of course, to be able to speak Arabic and to understand the Quran in Arabic is obviously so much better. But yes, I started praying like that. And actually, I don't want to spoil the whole thing because I did something recently that I wanted to talk about in a separate video. But short answer, yes, I prayed like a Muslim to see it for myself. I just had to. And again, no big spoilers here. For me, it felt absolutely natural. It made sense. Because, again, I cannot talk about this in detail here on this channel. But you guys know, previously I had many spiritual experiences, let's call them that. Yeah, certain experiences in the Amazon jungle, etc., etc., of shamanic nature. And I had certain epiphanies in those experiences where I prostrated as well. So it is something natural, something intrinsic to the human itself to worship something greater than you. So therefore, it didn't feel Muslim or Islamic, like you would have to put a religious label on it. It just felt natural. And I had that experience as well on Mount Athos in the monastery, where I saw monks prostrating like that. Not everybody did, but a few did. And my biases kicked in and I said, oh, that's praying like Muslims. But genuinely, I fully understand that if you are in awe and you really feel God, you know He is greater than you, then you naturally want to submit to Him, and therefore this is just a natural way of doing that for us as humans. It is how we pray. So it is in our DNA, it is natural, it has nothing to do with a religion per se. And this is why when you see all kinds of religions on this planet, they still have certain truths within them. They do prostrate. Even the Buddhists here in Thailand, they do prostrate in front of their golden Buddha statues, but nevertheless they do prostrate. And this movement is extremely natural to us humans. Yeah.
Let's create a bright green future where we all feel compassion.
So thank you very much, Hussein El Nahas, for the Canadian dollars. Thank you very much. And thank you very much.
Let's create a bright green future where we all feel compassion.
Thank you very much, Fame RK, for the £5. Please react to The Battle Against Dajjal, the False Messiah by Merciful Servant. Okay, no worries. Let me just save it to my playlist. 1 second. And because the super chat, you're gonna see that I'm saving it as well. One second. I just have to type this down. So that's The Battle Against Dajjal. Okay. The Battle Against Dajjal. Merciful Servant. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for your support. Okay, here we are. The video is... We're having a commercial running here. 1 second, 1 second. Like so. Yeah, there you can see it. Okay, the battle against Dajjal. It is a 18 minute video, almost 20 minutes. So I'm gonna save it to my reaction playlist. There you have it. And God willing, soon we will react to it. So thank you very much for your generous donation. And absolutely, we will react to this video. It is saved. So if everything goes well, maybe next week, maybe the week after that. Okay, thank you very much, bro. I really appreciate it. Victor Cifuentes donated $20. I don't know where that is from, but thank you very much, bro. Appreciate it. Where did you meet your wife, Bobby? Is she Christian? So I met my wife in Australia whilst traveling, and she comes originally from Senegal. She's half Senegalese and half French. So she lived in Senegal pretty much all her life until she went to France for studies, and then she went for an internship to Australia, and this is where we met. So quite interesting, that's where we met, in Australia, and she is of the Christian minority of Senegal. I think it is... Thank you very much. And I think the minority of Christians in Senegal is at around about 10% or so, as far as I know. So 90% are Muslim in Senegal, but yes, she's a Christian. That is correct. Thank you very much for the super chat. Appreciate it. Saya, good to see you, Saya. Thank you very much for the $10. Appreciate it. Happy New Year. Let's talk relationships, marriage, and drug abuse for those who are struggling out there if you get a chance on this stream. Thank you very much. Let me just adjust my green screen real quick because I'm dissolving again. And it's really funny to talk with this thing. I don't think you hear too much of it, but it is pretty annoying for me personally to talk with it. As for right now, I still have to get used to it. It has been just a few days. It essentially feels like a mouth guard for boxing. A bit thinner, obviously, but it's consistently interfering with my tongue while speaking. Yeah, well. It is what it is. Okay, I think that's better. Adjusted. So, Saya, Happy New Year. Thank you, everybody, for the generous donation, guys. Thank you so much. So, first and foremost, Happy New Year to you as well, and your whole family, of course. She says, let's talk relationships. Guys, in the chat, jump in. Thank you very much, guys. So if you have anything to say about relationships, let us know in the chat. She says relationship, marriage, and drug abuse in that combination for those who are struggling out there. So I, out of my personal experience, thank God, didn't mix drugs and relationships or marriage. Relationships maybe, but not marriage. So back in the day, yes, I come from a background of drug use as well. However, this already... roughly 10 years ago as well. Everything I mentioned today is somehow magically 10 years ago. I'm getting very, very old over here. But yeah, 10 years ago, I used to be in the party scene and we used to consume recreational drugs. Disclaimer again, this is not to promote, but quite the opposite, to please do not touch those substances. And in those times, when I was in my early 20s, yeah, drugs went hand in hand with those so-called relationships. We were all a bunch of degenerates that want to party, have promiscuous sex, and take drugs. Yes, that's the background. And during that time, there was no real issue with it in that sense, because we were all into it. So I personally didn't have an issue with those drugs. Nevertheless, I can say that they irreversibly probably damaged my brain. It is really the case, yes, I said it here, because ultimately, I think I never got as sharp as I used to be. Thank God, all to the glory of God, that I still have some brain cells left and can articulate myself somewhat, but nevertheless, ultimately, I was way, way better off before touching anything. And with drugs, depending on the drug, it's very tricky, because it's a slippery slope, I don't have to tell you this, especially when it comes down to weed and recreational drugs, because people don't take them serious anymore. It has become part of culture, just as alcohol and cigarettes, and this is why people neglect the seriousness of such drugs, and they don't even see it as drugs anymore, but rather as some sort of lifestyle. Anyways, by the glory of God, thank God, yet again, I went through that stuff very, very early, and so I could let go of it. And my last big vices that I still had, at least 99.99999% of them, I could really let go of before I entered marriage. So thank God for that as well. Yeah, and that was the most important thing for me personally. I found to God before I entered marriage. I left the degeneracy behind before I entered marriage, and so therefore I was in a good spot once I became a father. Looking at it objectively, of course, I would have liked to be a father much earlier. I became a dad exactly on the day when I turned 34, but it is what it is, and it had to happen this way because I wasn't ripe. I wasn't mature at all. I was a total idiot. So I was very egocentrical, just looking after my own pleasure, essentially just chasing hedonism. It's nothing new, and yeah, I wasn't even capable to be a father. So thank God I let go of those things prior to my real relationship, which is a marriage, because I don't even like to call those other things relationships any longer, because what is it really? It is just two people having sex, ultimately, and if they're not planning on using that gift of sex for children, then they're just using it for pleasure, yet again. And if you overstimulate yourself consistently, that's not a real relationship. So that is just another way of essentially getting addicted to something other than a drug. That's literally what you're doing there, right? And so therefore, yeah, no matter how I twist and turn it, I can only speak out of my own experience, and thank God I didn't take any drugs, promiscuity, or any other type of addiction into my marriage. I left it all in the past, thank God. I returned to God first, and then I got married. Yeah. And so for people that struggle with that, I see it in this way, and I cannot see it any other way. So now I could say, hey, go to an anonymous alcoholics program, some sort of rehab, this and that, and first and foremost, and yada yada yada. But my point is that there's only God or nihilism. There's literally nothing else, right? And I was thinking about this lately, especially. I was looking at the society, and I noticed we are in the times of paganism again. What does that mean? Paganism, ultimately, the poster childs of paganism are two things: idolatry and child sacrifice. Okay? Those are the two big ones within paganism. So when Christianity came, when Islam came, when they were fighting the pagans, this was the real fight. It was to establish monotheism, it was to discard idolatry, and it was to banish child sacrifice. That's predominantly what it was about, right? Human sacrifice, child sacrifice. And now I was looking at this society, and this society has a different label, but it doesn't matter what you label it. We see this in that society as well now, because you can label a man a woman, but that doesn't make that man a woman. You can label it as such, but under God it's still a man. That's it. A confused man, but you label it a certain way. And now we label this day and age modernity, and we label it science, and we label it atheism. But the question becomes, of course, what we do in the name of those isms. Because what we truly do in the name of those isms is, again, we sacrifice our children. First, it starts with abortion. Millions of babies every year dead. Every year. That's a blood sacrifice. That is child sacrifice in its truest sense. Okay? Thank you very much, guys. You're the best. Then it continues further, of course. Maybe we're going to do some sex change surgery when they're 3 years old. We're going to chop off their genitals and whatnot. Okay? That is child sacrifice as well. We're sacrificing their whole life, ultimately. At the altar of science, of course. Right? And then if we talk about idolatry, where should I begin? Where should I begin? We can literally start with the idols, the celebrities, the superstars. They are your idols, idol worship, goddesses. They even call themselves goddess, queen, and whatnot. And then moreover, of course, you have those isms that become idols as well. We worship science now. Oh, science said. Science has proven. The scientist has said. So the scientists become some sort of priesthood here. some sort of holy figures, and we worship them, and we make idols out of those isms. So my point of the story is that we are in deep, deep paganism right now, and if we believe in scripture, honestly, no matter if you're Jewish, Christian, or Muslim, ultimately you would have to see through that fabric, discard the label, and understand that we are in paganism yet again. And if monotheism is not established, thank you very much. If monotheism is not established, then people do not understand how to get their priorities straight, and they will continue worshipping everything else but God. Once they do that, they will continue with the degeneracy as we see right now, because they're not worshipping God. They don't understand what is right and wrong. This is why they worship their ABCDEFG crew, and this is why they chop off the genitals of their children. That's what they do, and this is why they abort, and this is why they have promiscuous sex, and this is why they worship feminism, etc., etc. Okay? So the reason why I'm telling you this is that if we're talking about relationships, if we're talking about marriage, if we're talking about anything of those sorts, if we're talking about drug addiction, we cannot not talk about God. It's absolute impossible. Right now, living here in Thailand, we go to certain play groups with my son, my wife predominantly, whilst I'm working, and then she meets people, right? And so we met those lovely Pakistani people here, a couple, husband and wife, with their child, and they're Muslim, of course. And we have a lot in common, right? And we're talking about God, we talk about religion, we talk about a proper upbringing for our children. And then we met some French people, and they are liberal, I don't even know what they are, right? And they tell me how a boy can wear pink as well. I'm not making this up, this is really what they said, right? So ultimately you see that if there's God missing in your life, thank you very much guys, I'm going to read them all out in a second. If there's God missing in your life, then the foundation is missing. You cannot build a house without the foundation. And that's why I see nowadays clearly that all the problems that people have, monetary problems, relationship problems, whatever it is, comes from a lack of connection to God. Because if you have a connection to God, you're not going to fall into substance abuse. If you have a connection with God, you're not going to cheat on your partner. If you have a connection to God, you're not going to abuse yourself with pornography and mainstream media and junk food and whatnot. Okay? So that is ultimately why no matter which advice I will ever give you, it all has to be rooted in the foundation of believing in God. If you don't believe in God, all hell will break loose. That's literally what it is, and that's what we always see over and over and over again. If you ask people that are on drugs, are they praying? Do they have a religious practice? 99% of the time, the answer is of course no. Okay? And that's why. So I really feel for you, Sire, especially because you've been for a long time here on this channel and I followed your journey along on Instagram. And I really wish you well from the bottom of my heart. But in your relationship, in your marriage, the things that you describe here, your man will have to take responsibility and he will have to return to God. If he doesn't do that, it's doomed. That's really how it is. And it is sad to say that because I really wish you well. And I hope that you guys can stay together. But ultimately, you will have to support him. You have to support your man to find to God, to be upright. But if he fights against that, and he's a lost cause, then you cannot fix him. Because the man himself, he has to lead the family. It's not your job to be his mama. Alright? It's your job to be his wife. It's your job to be the mama of his children, but not to be his mama. And that's why we have to work on ourselves before we enter marriage. If you're a total broken mess, then you expect your partner to fix you. That's ridiculous. You as a man, you are the leader in the household, and your woman should learn from you. You should be the captain of the ship, of the relationship, so to speak. So if you constantly have to fix the guy, repair the guy, it's a shame. But always keep in mind that your kids, they need father and mother, that is for sure. So try to repair this, give him pointers, bring him to an exorcist if you have to, and try to bring him on the right way. But if he really doesn't want to, then you cannot help it. There is no possibility for you to fix that man. Okay, Jonathan, good to see you, brother. Happy New Year, brother. Good to see you, man. I hope I'm going to see you soon in Thailand, man. I'm waiting for you. I saw your competition pictures. Looked really, really good. Jonathan was in tremendous shape. Okay. Sire, so much from me. Happy New Year again. I wish you all the best, genuinely. Okay. Now, let me return to... Actually, let me open my dashboard here. Like that I can see more. 1 second. Man, it has been 3 weeks again since I live streamed. It's so crazy. Back in the day, every Sunday, sometimes twice. But now, family father here, Daddy Bobby, isn't streaming as much as he should. You will see me soon, brother. Let's chat sometime this week. Yeah, absolutely, bro. And man, every time I write you on Telegram, those messages never arrive. I don't know why. So maybe WhatsApp or whatnot. Anyways, let's definitely talk. And I'm here. I'm not moving. I'm staying in Thailand for now. So God willing, I will see you soon. For sure. Okay. Just 1 second, guys. I have to get my dashboard right here. Okay. Now. Where are we? Where are we? Wow, so many super chats. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, Upcut donated $10 again. Thank you so much, Upcut. And this time with a question. This is amazing. People got the memo. Salam, Bobby. Have you seen any verse in the Quran that doesn't fit with the natural instinct common sense? FYI, my kid's private Islamic school puts some of your videos for the students to watch. Rational thinking is part of our faith. Well deserved. Wow, man. This is absolutely insane. This is totally insane. So first and foremost, applause for everybody that donated here. What? This is so crazy, man. Guys, I'm getting messages here in my comment section, and people tell me that they reverted because of me. And that for me is absolutely crazy. It's totally insane because I haven't converted, right? So I'm just a guy learning about Islam, exploring the faith, and people really write me and they tell me that I was a pivotal point for them in their journey to revert, which I find mind-boggling, really. Then, moreover, I have Muslims reaching out to me that tell me that I brought them closer to their faith. This is, again, mind-blowing to me. And if that wasn't enough, now my videos are getting played in Islamic schools? What? This is absolutely crazy. So, yeah, I am happy about that, I guess. But at the same time, it's just a testament of how great God is. Because this reminds me of, we have our plans, but Allah is the best of planners. Because I could have never planned this. Never in my life. This is the craziest thing ever. I imagined many things in my life that could happen, would happen, should happen, but I never thought in a million years that I will ever make Islamic video content reactions. Ever in my life. I thought that this would be the last thing, if at all, that I would discuss on my channel. And if I would discuss it, then maybe to hate on it, right? Something like David Wood. Some cool anti-Islamic content. That's what I thought I might do as a Christian. Really, really wild, man. And now this is really mind-blowing to me. I don't know what to say. So thank you, I guess. I really appreciate it. And other than that, if I found any verse that didn't fit with the natural instinct, no, I don't have anything upon my mind right now. So I couldn't think about anything where I was weirded out or I was wondering about. I mean, personally, it made sense. There were a few verses that I highlighted. So I had it online and I would highlight it. Some in green that are good verses, some in red. But yeah, in the whole context, the scheme of things, it made sense to me. So I had really no resistance whilst reading the Quran. Quite the opposite, I was really wondering that the Quran was the way it was, because I saw Muslims in a totally different light. So I was really wondering that the Quran was saying those things, and I experienced completely other things with Muslims in the real world, right? But about the Quran itself, no. And all the shocking passages people like David Wood already discussed, so I was kind of warmed up to it. But yet again, if you're looking for violence in the Bible, you have much, much more violence than you would ever find in the Quran. So that is for sure, 100%. Okay. Thank you very much. I hope that answered the question. Upcut. Nidal. Is it you, Nidal? Bruder, bist du es? Nidal donated 729 baht. So it must be my friend Nidal. Very good friend. Thank you very much. Dankeschön, Bruder. Freut mich, dich hier zu sehen. You Got Lambs donated £5. Thank you very much. You Got Lambs. What do you think about the Apostle Paul and his change to the religion of Jesus? Yeah, basically you said it yourself now. That's what I think. Because if you look at Paul's doctrine, it is very different from the doctrine of Jesus. And therefore, I personally cannot reconcile why Jesus wouldn't have taught what Paul taught later on if it was so important. Right? I think that makes sense. That if it is so important what Paul has to tell us, then Jesus would have told us that already. Especially if you see Jesus as being God, then there couldn't have been any type of mistake. Jesus would just arise in this world as God and tell us everything we need to know. So he doesn't need to send Paul later just to correct certain things that he said beforehand. It doesn't make sense. Jesus didn't break the Jewish law, so he was following within the Mosaic law. And Paul just got rid of it. So that tells you basically everything you need to know. Alright? So yeah, that's how I see it. Ultimately, I see Paul as a false prophet, ultimately. Even though he doesn't claim to be a prophet, but rather an apostle. But I see him as a false prophet, by the standard of the early Bible as well. Yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Leila Mohammed donated $4.50. Thank you very much. Bobby, sorry I couldn't attach the question before. Lol, here's my question. Finally. Tell us one thing you like or dislike about Muslim community. Okay. Good question. Let me just take a sip of water. Until then, an applause for everybody here that donates. Thank you so much, guys. And again, guys, I'm trying to answer certain questions from the chat, but as you can see, I'm still busy answering super chats, and they will always be prioritized. People that support the channel, I answer, of course, right away. That being said, you can donate as little as $1, as far as I know, even 99 cents or something. So yeah, like that, I can answer your question, and you can support the channel. It's a win-win situation. Thank you so much. So now, I didn't take a sip of water. I'm still babbling here. Okay, so the question is, one thing that I dislike about the Muslim community. So, thank you very much. To say that there is one thing I dislike about the Muslim community would mean that I dislike the whole Muslim community, and like that I would have to generalize the whole Muslim community, which is impossible, because the Muslim community in Germany is very different from the Muslim community in France, which in turn is extremely different from the Muslim community in Thailand or Malaysia, right, or Bosnia for that sake. So it is all very different, so I cannot generalize here. I can only speak about my own experiences. And within Germany, the Muslim community in Germany, to this very day, when you talk to them, many of them do not know how to recite the Quran, how to properly pray. Many of them have absolutely no clue about their religion. They're identified culturally. And this is something I dislike, not only in the Muslim community, but in general. When people are culturally identified with something, it drives me nuts. I always tell the same story about my Serbian friend. We go there, the Serbian friend is my age, and they have this big holiday where they celebrate a certain saint within Orthodox Christianity. So now we arrive there, and I'm genuinely curious who that saint was, and I'm genuinely curious what that saint did. Why do we celebrate him? And so I asked the father of my friend, who was the age of my dad, basically, why we celebrate that saint. And he freaked out. He screamed at me, shouted at me, why do you ask me such stupid questions? What is this? I'm here to have a good time. My dad celebrated this, my granddad celebrated this, and before that his granddad celebrated that as well. So I'm just going to continue with this. Why are you even asking me? Meanwhile, drinking alcohol and eating pork. That's it. And this picture will never leave me. And I got really shocked. I was maybe 16 years old, and I got shocked. I genuinely just wanted to know. I wanted to understand why. Just why? Tell me. What is the celebration about? But they couldn't tell me, and they didn't want to tell me, and they didn't even want to know themselves. They simply want to celebrate, and that's that. And so that for me was such a huge turn-off ultimately, and a shocker. And it will always accompany me in my search for truth, because I understood that our perceived truths come from cultural conditioning. So I broke down many facets within my own country politically. What does it mean to be Macedonian? Are we truly Macedonians? Are we Bulgarians? Etc., etc., you name it. And people hated me for that. Right? The reason being, after all, is because I was interested in the truth. I really wanted to know, and I'm not interested in culture. So now, when we're talking about the Muslim community in Germany, not all, of course, but the ones that I was surrounded with, they were just cultural Muslim, whatever that means. And they would fast maybe a little bit, they would celebrate a holiday or two, they would tell me roughly what it means to be a Muslim, but meanwhile they would consume drugs, they would go to prostitutes and whatnot, right? So therefore, long story short, being culturally identified rather than really understanding what you're in for is extremely annoying to me with any community, not only the Muslim community. So that is that. But generally, again, traveling the world, totally different communities. And the Southeast Asian Muslims, for me personally, absolutely beautiful people. Really amazing. Yeah. I hope that answered the question. Dennis donated $1. See guys, you can simply donate $1 as support. Show your support. Thank you very much. Bobby brat, te pozdravujem so cijelo srce. Sorry that I can't really speak that well, guys, again with this damn Invisalign here. I se nadavam дека ти je исполнета душата со исламот. Поздрав од Тетово, Македонија. Hey, поздрав, брате. I wasn't Tetovo just this summer. Last summer now. Pozdrav. Good to hear from you. Really happy to hear this. And yeah, who knows, man. Once I make it back to Macedonia, if they don't want to kill me again over there, we can definitely hang out and go for a coffee or whatnot. Hvala, brat. Pozdrav za Teto. Jaguar King donated $10. No question attached. Guys, make sure to attach your question. Thank you very much. Hussein donated again, this time with a question. Very good. $5 Canadian. Thank you. Let me try this again. Are you learning Arabic? If so, would you care to share how you are finding the experience so far? Appreciate content. Thank you very much. Yes, I am learning Arabic, you could say. But at the moment, we went through the alphabet, essentially, and through Surah Fatiha, of course. And yeah, so we are learning to read Arabic at the moment, much more than trying to speak and trying to understand it per se. It's much more about being able to read it, so I can read the Quran in Arabic as well. At first, that's my first start, and then we go further from there. Other than that, my experience so far has been a lot of fun. I love learning, and this is something, yet again, thank you very much, this is something that I wouldn't have expected in a billion years, me learning Arabic. Why? I want to learn Japanese for a time, because I liked animes back in the day, so I thought that would be a cool idea. I want to learn Turkish for a while, I have to admit, because so many people spoke Turkish in Germany, but I never thought about learning Arabic. And yes, now I'm learning to read Arabic. Honestly, many letters very similar to Balkan pronunciation, but then you of course have the h and the h, etc., so they're a bit trickier for me. But yeah, it has been absolutely pleasant. I love learning. Actually, it has been something that I haven't done in a long time as such, to have a teacher that teaches me something specifically. Really amazing experience. So it just goes to show that if you actually enjoy something, then learning it is not hard either. But once I was in school, I didn't enjoy learning because I hated the subjects. So yeah, we should definitely take that as a lesson for our children as well, to give them certain lessons that they can relate to and that they will favor their talents ultimately. Thank you very much, Hussein. Abdullah, good to see you, brother. 18 Emirate Dirham, was it, right? Yeah, Dirham. Thank you very much. Salam, Bobby, salam. May this be the year Allah opens your heart to accept Islam, inshallah. And did any of the videos I sent on email make it to your reaction list? Haha. Yeah, absolutely, brother. They are saved. I've been getting so many requests. I saved them all. Don't worry about it. And God willing, soon we will react to them as well. So the reaction list is very, very long. And this is why people always ask, and some are even complaining, hey bro, why didn't you react to it? I already posted it 3 times. Yeah, brother, other people posted it 20 million times, and the list is long. So I'm still reacting to videos that have been recommended to me. Thank you very much. To videos that have been recommended to me months ago still. So God willing, in time, sabr, we will react to all of them. Thank you very much. Okay. Verith, again, thank you very much for the 10 euros, brother. All the drugs led you here. I was a heroin addict for 4 years, 10 years clean. Brain cells are probably very damaged, but I'm back to serving God where I belong, the supreme sufficer. Absolutely beautiful, thank God for that. And yeah, I never got into H, thank God for that. I got into the party drugs predominantly, and it wasn't a daily occurrence. Weed was, yes, unfortunately. But the party drugs obviously were mostly on weekends, festivals, etc., etc. Nevertheless, I overdid it absolutely. And yes, it leads to brain damage, 100%. And I would say that my dopamine levels were very depleted. So to experience happiness, etc., took quite some time. But hey, thank God. I'm really in a very, very beautiful place. My brain recovered tremendously. May never be at its full potential because that's my own fault, and this is something that I have to live with. Still, I can speak a word or two, I can put a sentence or two together, I can run a YouTube channel more or less, so I'm happy where I'm at, and thank God my family members here can understand me as well. So glory to God, all good, eh? And happy for you, brother, that you made it out. That's the most important thing. Burak John donated $2, thank you very much. Burak, salam Bobby, salam. I'm a Turkish uni student from Germany. As a 21-year-old who isn't keen of marriage and perhaps will never experience marriage, hey, never say never, don't know how to cope with temptations and loneliness, and is quite agitating. Any realistic advice? You came to the right spot. Let me put it this way. I do not believe... Thank you very much, guys. I'm going to read it out in a second. I do not believe, and I never believed, that we should go against our nature. Okay? So, for example, when I saw certain monks go the ascetic path... Thank you very much, guys. I'm going to tone down the music for a second here, so I can speak a sentence. So as I saw monks going down the ascetic way, not having sex, not getting married, no children, etc., etc., I understood the pull, I got it, but at the same time I was thinking to myself, there is no way that you can trick your biology. Absolutely no way. As long as you have functioning testicles and a functioning penis, not only will you get tempted, but you will have to answer the call of nature, so to speak. I know that this terminology is used for going to the toilet, but the call of nature is as well if you have to procreate. So I believe that God put everything beautifully into place, and the arousal that you experience as a man is fully normal, but of course with the background to procreate. So now you say that you don't want to get married, or you probably will never get married. So first the question, the realistic question is of course, why not? Why wouldn't you like to get married? Why don't you think you're gonna get married? The options are very, very simple here. Monk mode, no sex whatsoever. And if you then abstain from masturbation as well, good, but then your body, at some point, you will have a wet dream. Happened to me. I went into full-blown monk mode, no masturbation, no sex, no nothing, for months, and then you have a wet dream. So your body will unload somehow because pressure is building up. That is just the anatomy of things, that is how it works, and you cannot fight that. So ultimately, when I heard certain monks battling their demons, those sexual demons, and yada yada yada, they're getting tempted, I was thinking to myself, wow, how unnecessary. Because if you would have a wife and you would just have sex, even if it's not that often, once per week, once per month even, okay, then you would get rid of that urge and everything is fine again, because God created it that way, right? So there's one option, monk life, but you will come in your pants or in your bed. What's the point, right? The other path would be degeneracy. Let's be honest here, right? From a religious standpoint, that is absolutely forbidden, of course. I'm just talking about my own experience. If you're not in monk mode, then you want to get rid of your seed somehow. You feel that pressure. So, in the umbrella, under the umbrella of degeneracy, now you can watch pornography and jerk off all the time. Congratulations, like this you're going to destroy yourself. That's true. Like this you're going to destroy yourself, you're going to destroy your motivation, you're going to kill your motivation, you're going to kill your drive, you're going to lose so much energy, man. It's absolutely insane. Probably going to get depressed. For what? So jerking off is not an option either. Monk mode is not an option. Jerking off is not an option. Okay? So what's the other option? Promiscuous sex. Okay, so now you have to think about it. Now instead of destroying yourself, now you're destroying other people's lives as well. I know you could go down the route and say, yeah, they wanted to, and just casual, who cares? Okay, you never know how their mindset of those women will shift when they get a bit older. So therefore, you are enabling that misery, and I did it too. I'm not pointing the finger, I'm not acting like a saint here, because I certainly am not. So back in the day, I enabled that as well, by having a lot of sex with a lot of different women. Congratulations. Like that, you're leaving their lives in shambles as well. Even though at the time, it was all consensual, and they wanted it too. Who cares? Now plenty of them, honestly, plenty of my exes or women that I had relations with, became feminists, depressed, abortions, and whatnot. Right? And I was part in that destruction. I have to understand. And so I was part in that misery. And looking at it now, from my perspective, I don't see any value in it. So that would be your next option, right? Promiscuous sex. The least of the evil within promiscuous sex is honestly to go to a prostitute, because she's going to do that anyways. But yet again, you are just enabling that degeneracy. But that would be the least impact you would have on this society. That's that. And then the other option, which is basically the only real option, is to start a family and to have sex within wedlock, within your marriage. And again, I want to reread your question. You say you're 21 and you're not keen of marriage and perhaps will never experience marriage. So you're basically closing down the door for yourself, because your body right now, the impulse that you're getting is telling you to procreate. That's it. Listen guys, they didn't experiment, okay? They didn't experiment on butterflies. And the way that butterflies, female butterflies, attract their male counterparts is by having very beautiful wings. That is sexy to them, right? So like it is to have a big butt as a woman, for us men, is attractive. For the butterflies, it's very colorful wings. So now they did an experiment where they created fake butterflies with outrageous colors. Colors that you wouldn't even see in nature. Supernatural, super unnatural colors on their wings. Okay? And so what happened is that the male butterflies would go there and have sex with those plastic butterflies. And I don't know how they found it out, but they even found out that those male butterflies apparently even knew that those are not real butterflies, because they had the real butterflies, the real female butterflies next to them, and they still chose the plastic butterflies. They chose the plastic butterflies because it gave them such a dopamine rush like nothing else. It turned them on beyond belief. It was so appetizing to them, right? And essentially, ultimately, this is what you see with this day and age. I learned this through food porn, because once I started watching food shows, food porn essentially, I understood that, okay, so they put the camera on it, specific lighting, an angle, people are biting into it, sensual music. They make this food way more appetizing than it actually is. And if you grew up watching pornography, like we probably all did, They make the female body appear so much more appetizing than it actually is. Sure, a female is appetizing, but they make it look like, wow, it's the only thing. It's God. It's their God, really. That's how they display it. Wow, so hot, so sexy. Woohoo! It's just sex, guys. Get over it. But anyways, part of the story is that if you ultimately see what is happening there, you see that their need for procreation, their urge for procreation, has been taken, has been tricked, has been amplified, has led to a dopamine rush, and has been taken away from its natural state, where they would have sex with butterflies to create other butterflies, just into essentially jerking off with plastic butterflies. You get it? And that's what we are doing as well. No matter if we watch pornography or if we just go on Tinder and we go to the next hot chick, it doesn't really matter, because ultimately you're tricking yourself, consciously now, after knowing this information, to simply go through the act of procreation, the act of making babies, but you just abuse it for your pleasure. That's it. So you're just pleasure seeking all the time. So therefore I would tell you, with your 21 years old, yes, you're very young, man, but at the same time, what would be wrong with you following your natural urge, your God-given urge, and actually look for a wife? Look for a wife, make some children. What else is there? Do you want to stay alone? At some point you will come to the point where you actually want to have children. And believe me, man, as a 35-year-old dad of a 1-year-old boy, I would be much happier if I was 10 years younger. Would have more energy, could have 10 more kids, etc., etc. It is what it is. Thank God I still got on the right somehow. Better late than never. But the point of the story is, you're not a guy that will deny himself his sex drive, and this is exactly why you're writing me this question. So therefore your only option, I told you all the options here, the only real option is to get married. So I would ask myself why I don't want to get married. That would be my question, my honest question to myself. And from there on, I would continue my journey. First I would ask myself, why don't I want to get married? Why don't I want to do what's natural? Why don't I want to do what God wants for us? Why don't I want that? And then from there on, okay. There you can see if those other options, which I clearly displayed, are totally retarded, for the lack of better words, are they options for you? That's it. That's all you got. There's nothing else. Thank you, Budak. And I hope this helps. John Hijra donated 6 mir. Thank you very much. Wishing you and your family happy and blessed. Thank you very much. Bless your family as well. I appreciate it. Abdullah Alk says, I sent you a picture on email that viewers might like. Okay. Let me check the email first. And then we'll see. One second. Picture. Okay. Yeah, this we can show. One second. Come on. Here we are. Okay. So here you can see it. The picture is ho ho ho, Merry Christmas. Wait, is this the wrong house? He went to Dr. Zakir Naik. Brother asked a very good question. And then you see Santa is praying right away. Yeah, I saw that. That's hilarious, man. Thank you very much for the donation, Abdullah. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for the laugh. Here we go. Thank you. Spartakos, good to see you, brother. Do you still do one-on-one coaching calls? Not really, but for you I can do definitely an exception, because we haven't talked in a while. So yeah, write me on email, bro, and then we can talk for sure. Good to see you, by the way. Long time no see. Okay, 1 second, guys. I have to go into my dashboard again. Dashboard. My Islam only donated $1. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum, Bobby. Alaikum salam. I hope you and your family is doing well. I'm actively following you. Thank you very much for the support. Amazing content, educational and entertaining. May God bless you. Thank you, thank you. May God bless you too. You should definitely watch this video. There are 2 videos. Okay, I'm going to open them up and save them to my playlist. Islam and the Occult, episode 2. Would be good to watch episode 1 then as well. And documentary film Zamzam Blessed Water. Thank you very much. I'm saving them to my reaction playlist. You can see it here. Here we are. Like so. Save. This one's already saved. See? This one's already saved. That's how long this list is. Sometimes I don't even know which videos I've saved already. And this one, Islam and the Occult, episode 2. Let's see if I saved this one already or not. Save. No, this one is new. Okay. React. Got it. Thank you so much for your support and the video recommendations. I appreciate it. Merci beaucoup. Ho 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 ho. Ho ho ho. Santa Claus is praying. Okay, let me just turn this off again. Here we go. Fantastico. Mucho bellissimo. Let me go back to the dashboard. Thank you very much. My Islam only. Appreciate it, bro. God willing, soon I will react to those videos. Spartacus. Ah, I might have confused you with another Spartacus though. Donated $5. I converted to Islam at 2013 and I'm Greek and live in Germany. It's quite of a story how I found Islam, and I like... The sentence is a bit weird. And I'll be thankful for it every day. The oneness of God and the unity of the brotherhood is the biggest part that strengthens my faith. God bless. God bless you too, brother. I confused you with another Spartacus that I talked to. He was Greek as well, but not Muslim. But yeah, man, we talked about this with my friend today, about the brotherhood in Islam, and I don't think that there is anything like it anywhere else. Let alone that you can just go from country to country and with a salam alaikum you already have this brotherhood established right away. It's like a secret little oath that you have. Really, really amazing. So, yeah, you don't have that in any other religion like that. I can understand that strengthens your faith, and the oneness of God is just obvious because it's natural. Monotheism is the most natural thing you can follow. Anything else is confusing. Thank you very much, Spartacus. Appreciate it. Ali Selmani donated $2. Thank you very much. You have a Muslim friend waiting for you in Teto. Bravo, mashallah. I'm happy for that, bro. Once I'm there, I'm gonna hit you guys up. Meshari donated $30. Hey, that is the biggest donation of tonight. Applause. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Oh man, for people that are tuning in just now, yes, I have a dental thing here. It's called Invisalign. Again, I'm not advocating for it. It's not some sort of advertisement whatsoever. I'm just really saying it because it's very hard to talk with it. And I have to wear it 22 hours per day. It's like a transparent bracelet, basically. I don't think you can see it much on the webcam, thank God, but man, it's really tough to talk with it. And it dries out your mouth as well. Okay. So, Meshari, thank you so much for the biggest donation of tonight of $30. Appreciate it, bro. And he says, could you make more videos than one video every day? It's really nice to see your reaction and your interest to see videos about the biography of the Prophet Muhammad. Peace and blessings be upon him. Listen, I don't have an editor for my videos. I just got an editor now for my shorts, which is awesome. I'm really happy about that. And I believe that he is doing a fantastic job. But he's just doing the shorts. And as for right now, I'm running the whole YouTube channel. So everything you see on this YouTube channel, I make myself. The thumbnails, the video recording, obviously, the editing, everything that goes into it, the video sourcing. But you guys helped me a lot there. I said it before. Thank you so much for sending me videos, because that makes my work so much easier. But that being said, I know it's just reaction videos, so people think that it doesn't take much time. Ultimately, this reminds me of a quote of Inoue Takehiko, which is a Japanese mangaka, so somebody that draws Japanese comics, and a philosopher of sorts as well. and he said it looks hard, but it is easy. It looks easy, but it is hard, right? And I think it's a very simple but profound quote, because ultimately that's how life appears. It really is like that. And man, those reaction videos, sure, it's nice to sit down and watch a video and react to it, but nevertheless, sometimes you have to take a second take and whatnot, and there is cutting and editing, even though it's very low key, but there is cutting and editing. And so therefore I can genuinely tell you that I'm working all day. I really work all day. Right now I'm streaming. You have to understand, I'm having the time of my life, I'm having fun, it's really amazing, but it's 10:30 p.m. right now. So my wife right now, she brought the kid to sleep, and then after this live stream maybe we're going to have 20 minutes, then I'm going to bed. Tomorrow morning I'm going to wake up, God willing, and I'm going to record videos again and edit. So 6 videos per week is already a full-time job for me. It really is. So I'm working on the weekends, I don't have any days off. We went for a holiday, if you will, for 3 days to an island here. And before that I had to work double as much to upload the videos prior to my stay on that island, etc., you name it. So I'm really doing what I can. And again, all by God's grace, you know, if the income raises higher here, the support is high enough, then sure, maybe I can employ an editor that actually edits all my videos. So that would be great. That would be my dream come true, because then I would have to just record videos and somebody else could edit them. Sure. And on that note, if somebody's watching, can make me a fair offer, because I cannot spend too much money on that. Just what it is. And so if there is somebody like that and we get a good deal going, of course, with the potential that if the channel grows, the editor gets paid more, etc., you name it. But yeah, if I would have an editor, then I would have much less work, and then I could record more videos, of course, and with that, upload twice per day, if that is really what you guys want, for sure. But as for right now, this is my absolute max output, and I'm really working a lot, bro. I'm working a lot. This is more than a full-time job. So a full-time job is 8 hours per day, and then you have 2 days off, right? 5 days per week, 2 days off. And yeah, I don't have that. I work 7 days per week, and I work pretty much all day. I'm all day in front of this computer, and then I go train if I'm healthy. Lately I haven't been, so thank God I could work a little bit more. That's that, and the rest I'm with my family. So yeah, I'm not saying that to complain, it's just I'm really trying to give you guys as much content as I can. At the same time, of course, I want it to be genuine too, so I don't want to fry myself out and just run into a deficiency because I watch too much. So yeah, I'm balancing it out as much as I can again, and this max output at the moment. So we'll see. Thank you so much, and thank you very much again, brother, for the generous donation. I appreciate it. The biggest donation of tonight, $30. Thank you. Brother Yusuf donated £10. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Brother Yusuf says, as a recent revert, I want to say thank you so much to channels like yourself. Have you always been interested in history and theology? Hopefully this be the way you accept Islam, inshallah. So, first and foremost, again, mind-blowing to me that reverts tell me that they got anything out of my channel. For me, that is really mind-blowing. So, thank you, and happy for you. And moreover, was I always into history and theology? No, not at all. So I guess this is just part of getting old, to be honest. I genuinely wasn't into history and theology at all. When I was in my 20s, I thought that I actually had genuinely new ideas. And then the older you get, the more you realize that even though in that moment that idea came from you, but that idea has already been discussed in philosophy, theology, spirituality, etc., and you just happen to not know about it, right? So there are of course universal truths that you can pick up and you can get the idea of it, but yet again, later in my life I found out that plenty of those genuine ideas have already been discussed for thousands of years, right? And yeah, it's just a process of getting older. My wife said that yesterday I was sitting on the couch and eating my dinner, and I was watching a history documentary whilst playing chess on my phone. And my wife told me, yes, now you're officially a dad, which is absolutely true. Right, so yeah, it just came with age. I went through the spiritual deceptions, I went through the travel, the psych, peep, etc., etc. And ultimately, yeah, I didn't find the answer in it, right? And that's when I dug deeper, and I was quite amazed to find out that, as I said, people have been discussing this for thousands of years. So many, especially in the New Age movement, they try to reinvent the wheel because they believe that they're genuinely coming up with something new. And this is very arrogant. It is essentially as if you would like to learn fighting without ever going to a martial arts school. I mean, you can do that if you really wanted to, but will you be as proficient as if you would go to a proper boxing trainer, to a proper jiu-jitsu coach? Of course not. You will teach yourself jiu-jitsu? I don't think so. And that's my whole point, right? So ultimately, you learn all of those skills because they've been prior perfected by other people over hundreds and thousands of years. And same with theology, history, etc. Those fields have been explored. And it's much, much better for one to actually research into those fields and learn from them, because the groundwork has already been done. It's much easier that way. You don't have to learn it by yourself from scratch, right? So I learned that the hard way. So basically, till my 30s, 31, 32, I was just not reading books, doing my own thing consistently, and trying to find the Holy Grail. But then later I found out that people have been there. They've done that. So might as well capitalize on that knowledge of the forefathers. So yeah, it has been a late development, essentially, that I got very interested in the history, first and foremost of my nation, if you will, Northern Macedonia. I want to understand the truth of that nation, and then with that, the theology, the church, what is the true religion, etc., etc. Yeah, Brother Yusuf, that is that. So, God willing, man, we will see. Thank you very much. Zoom party host Omar, brother, really, genuinely apologies from my side. I've been flooded with emails, man. Zdravo, salam alaikum, alaikum salam, zdravo. Hope all is good. Srećna Nova godina, brat. Did you want to do a Zoom party live session with me sometime? Trivia show, salam. I really wanted to. And again, genuine apologies. I'm gonna go to the email, really, God willing. This year, we're gonna set that up. Sorry for that, bro. Fezik, $1 donation, thank you very much. Why do you title your videos Christian Reacts when you don't believe in the Trinity or the teachings of Paul? Not trying to be hostile, and you've probably answered this, but I'm new to the channel. Yeah, sure, no worries. I'm answering this pretty much every day, it's true. So, Christianity is not necessarily rigidly defined, even though, of course, if we say only Orthodox Christianity is true Christianity, then we have the Orthodox doctrine, and this is what is to be adhered to. Or we say that Catholicism is the right doctrine, then we adhere to that. But within the umbrella of Christianity, we have Unitarian Christians as well. Right, so not every Christian is automatically a Trinitarian. That is that. And there are certain branches that are not too fond of Paul either, and they don't see him as a saint as well. Of course, minorities, but there are. Anyways, why do I call myself a Christian, despite all of those things that I just mentioned? For me, it's very, very simple. Even though I went into, again for the 1000th time, to the Amazon jungle, to Buddhist monasteries, Hindu temples and whatnot, I never changed my religion per se. Even though I didn't really believe in Christianity, I didn't explore Christianity. I thought it's simply something old, and why would I look into it? Just what is given to me, fine, I'm a Christian. I'm definitely not a Muslim, you know, so that's how I thought back then. I'm definitely not a Jew, but nothing wrong with studying Buddhism, studying shamanism, etc., etc. And so therefore, why do I call myself Christian? Because I haven't converted. It's that simple, really. And as long as I don't convert, by default, I am a Christian. I baptized my son as well in the Orthodox Church. I participated in the Orthodox Church. And therefore, slowly but surely, it's a learning lesson for me. And I'm totally open-minded, really, believe it or not. I'm still looking into the Trinity, I'm still looking into the Christian doctrines, etc., etc. And I said back in the day, if I could have just stayed Orthodox, I would be so happy. Because I loved Orthodoxy. I loved the monasteries, I loved the monastic life. I wanted to become a monk for a while as well. So I loved everything about it. And if I could have just stayed Orthodox, I would have, believe me, hands down. But I just couldn't resonate with the Trinity, as I said, and I really tried. And so therefore I looked further, and this is where we're at right now. Right now we're simply in this exploration of Islam, but at the same time I haven't converted, so therefore by default, yes, I am a Christian. I am definitely not an agnostic, I don't know. I'm definitely not an atheist either. I'm definitely not a Jew, definitely not a Buddhist, definitely not a Hindu. I'm definitely not a New Ager either, so I'm definitely not a hippie, none of those sorts. So therefore, by default, I'm still a Christian. Yeah. Thank you very much. I hope this answers the question. The Bun Bun donated £10. Thank you so much. Hey Bobby, big fan of your content. Had a somewhat similar journey like yourself to a lesser extent. Hedonism is not the answer. Believe in God saved me, and Islam has brought me peace and purpose. That's absolutely beautiful to hear. Ultimately, it's very simple. Hedonism, lately this term has been thrown around, but yeah, there is only nihilism, hedonism, and God. There's literally nothing else. You can pretend there is, but there really is not. And so therefore, it is an empty ideology. You can stimulate yourself all the time. You can give yourself those little dopamine hits. You can jump from lady to lady. You can eat all the good food in the world. And in the end, you will end up with nothing, no satisfaction whatsoever. So therefore, it's a very empty ideology. It doesn't give you any purpose. It says that ultimately, the lights go off and there's nothing after this life anyhow. So why even enjoy this life to begin with? If you're not going to remember it, so might as well just shut off now. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, the human being is a being of purpose, of need for purpose. And if you live without purpose, you're simply gonna be depressed. That's it. So why do it? God will let you suffer. God is absolutely just, and He will give you your free will. And if you want to go against God, you can do that as well. And then you will suffer. Have fun. Thank you very much, Bamban. Appreciate it. Ishak, £1.80. Thoughts on Unitarian Christianity. I believe that Unitarian Christianity is the closest to the true Christianity, or rather to the truest teachings of Jesus. Because Jesus was saying, your God and my God, pray to the Father. He didn't say worship me. So I think that Unitarian Christianity is closer to the truth than Trinitarian Christianity. Henry donated $5. Thank you very much, Henry. Bobby, on the topic of having a family, I myself am 19, but already know I want to have many kids. Amazing. Not too late. What is your opinion on people saying that you are essentially not free anymore, especially as a young man? Let me take a sip of water. Okay, so first and foremost, congratulations that you have your head straight and that you actually want to have many kids. That is a natural state to be in. Fantastic, good for you, honestly. I'm genuinely happy for you, and may God bless you with many children. That's awesome. Now, you say, what is my opinion that people are saying that you are essentially not free anymore, especially as a young man? So, I haven't heard that you're not free, especially as a young man. The only thing that I see... Thank you very much. The only thing that I see in this day and age is, of course, that they are trying to strip away as many freedoms of us away as possible, but at the same time they're giving you other outlets that feel like freedom. So yet again, for example, if you want to practice your religion, that freedom will be taken off you very, very soon, and it has been taken away from you, for example, during this whole pandemic, right? But that being said, the freedom to swipe through Tinder and have multiple sex partners, you can do that, no worries. Alright? The freedom to essentially consume all kinds of drugs, you can do that too, no worries. You can just call your Grab and eat the deadliest junk food, you can do that, no worries. So those freedoms are given to you. After that, you can go to a liquor store and buy alcohol Or honestly, here in Thailand, you can go to a 7-Eleven and buy alcohol and poison yourself and smoke cigarettes after that. No worries, you have the freedom, right? So therefore, that freedom is there. True freedom, for me personally, is not earned through a societal standard anyways. So within every society, you will have restrictions. So now people like to call this world the Matrix. They use the terminology of Andrew Tate, Matrix. Sure, fine. There's definitely, and I cannot say this here explicitly, but yes, there is a ruling elite, of course, and there are certain mechanisms in place that we have to obey within every society and on a global level. And yes, transhumanism is rising, a technocracy is rising in China, and there is a real risk that it will flood all over the planet, of course. But nevertheless, that is not true freedom. For me, true freedom is that you cannot change my belief. That is true freedom, right? So therefore, of course, everybody had to wear the face diaper, everybody was getting shots left and right, everybody had to stay at home. I didn't. Cops stopped me on the street. I still went out. I don't care. The point of the story is, you can physically set certain laws in place in a society. You can do that, but that won't take away my freedom to believe what I want to believe. So you can tell me that your science is right, for example. You can tell me that your politics are right, your gender politics are right. You can restrict my freedom, my perceived freedom in this physical world as much as you want to, but internally I'm free, because I can choose to believe in God and I can follow God. So therefore I'm always free. That's how I see it. Nobody can change that. I'm free. Now, this is why when people tell you you are not free, that's a slave mindset. You're free. Done. Here, I give you freedom now. That's it. You're not a slave. You're only a slave if you are in a slave mindset. You're not a slave. You're free already. But the point of the story is, of course, you have to be smart in this day and age. How to do certain things, how to do certain transactions, how to travel, how to organize yourself, how to make money, how to get a family, how to raise those children properly, how to protect those children from all kinds of medications nowadays, crappy food, etc., etc., etc. Right? That's all you have to do. You have to be smart in this day and age, in your environment. But that doesn't make you enslaved. That doesn't make you not free. Freedom is coming from within. You're either free in your mind or you're not. If you're in slave mindset, then nobody can help you. If you're free in yourself, you're free. That's it. That's how I see it, at least. So therefore, no matter how many rules they rolled out and what they try to do, I'm just focusing on myself and my family. I'm trying to do the best, provide for them, that's that. That's all I can do as a man. I'm always free under God. That's how I see it. So I would say, don't even focus on that, brother. Don't focus on that question. You're free. From today, the 1st of January 23, you're absolutely free. You're free to do what you want. You're free to get a woman, a wife, 2, 3, 4, and get many children. You're free to do that. Nobody can stop you there. And may God bless you and give you many children. Esmedin Potkovic, is that Bosnian? The biggest donation of tonight. We have $50. Thank you so much for the generous, more than generous donation of $50. Thank you very much, brother. Amazing support tonight, guys. Thank you so much. And we have a question attached as well by Esmedin. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Alaikum salam, brother. I wanted to ask if you have heard of the, I cannot read that out here, of the J proclaimed Messiah by some Yanuka Shlomo Yehuda. When you have the chance to take a look, the most prominent rabbis are kissing his hand and people are running to him. Very interesting. I talked about this today actually with my friend there, and some say that their Messiah is yet to come, some rabbis, and other rabbis say that he's already there. And of our religious context, even Christians, Muslims as well, we believe that their Messiah is the false Messiah, is the Antichrist, is the Dajjal. So therefore, man, so many signs lately, it's absolutely amazing to see. Who knows? Who knows what will happen? If we're truly in the end times or not, nobody knows. But specifically about Yanuka Shlomo Yehuda here, I'm going to search that right now, okay? I'm going to search that right now. Let's see if I find a YouTube video or not. The Yanuka, Roy, Shlomo, Yehuda, the truth about Israel's Messiah. Okay. End times prophecies. Very interesting. Bless God Studios. Here's a Christian talking about it. You know what, guys? We're gonna watch this real quick. Maybe not the whole thing here. Apparently Messiah. Very interesting. I have to watch this. Okay. Let's have a quick look.
Now, it appears he may have some bona fide miracles. If you don't...
1 second. So this is a Christian show, it seems. Let's have a look together. I'm going to make it a bit louder. Okay.
I've been seeing a whole lot about this false Messiah from Israel. Now, it appears he may have some bona fide miracles. If you don't know anything about the ultra-Orthodox community in Israel, let me give you guys a little just brief history, okay?
According to Christian belief, the false Messiah will be arrogant, he will exalt himself as God, and he will worship military power, and he will also be a total deceiver of the nations.
I just sent a question when Christians jump out the window and, you know...
This is all coming up, but one thing I have to say right away is that this Messiah will act as if he is God. But I think that this is when Christians will fall for the false Messiah because they believe that Jesus proclaimed himself as God. So what would there be the difference then? If this Messiah claims to be God, this is literally what Christians would believe. So like that we would be pretty screwed, to be honest.
Ruslan.
I've been seeing a whole lot about this false Messiah from Israel. There's been a whole lot of talk about it. There's been a whole lot
interesting,
of
man. I haven't heard it.
up things about it. Now, I don't know all the particulars, but this is what I do know. This stuff started being stirred up a couple weeks before I went to Israel. And I went in.
Why did you go to Israel?
And I was around Orthodox, ultra-Orthodox, Reformed Orthodox. I heard nothing. I heard nothing of this quote-unquote false.
Wait a second, I just realized my face a bit too big here. Let me make myself a bit smaller.
Messiah in Israel. Apparently, he allegedly has performed some miracles, yada, yada, yada. But I saw this video while I was in Israel. And I wanted to share with you guys because I think sometimes we kind of get ahead of ourselves, you know. So
okay,
like,
play the video.
I'm on the ground. Confirmed. That's what it's called. The channel is Will123Will.
Alright guys, today we're going to be talking about the alleged...
So now we're watching a video of a guy reacting to a video, okay?
Messiah that has been spotted in Israel. He has caught the attention of many social media platforms literally within a matter of weeks. I mean, I know you guys have seen this too. Like, he is all over YouTube, all over TikTok. Everybody's making such a big deal about him. But
by the way, I was right there. I was just right there a few weeks ago.
Okay, wait a second. So, false Messiah in Israel confirmed. Will 123 will. Why don't we just watch that then? So, false Messiah in Israel confirmed. Will 123 will. Okay. And now we're getting his video again. So this video has been deleted probably, that's why. It's too hot for the internet, it seems. Oh man, we have to stick with this video. I really don't like to react to a reaction, but...
I've been seeing a whole lot about statements like this. So,
okay, man.
Alleged Messiah that like everybody's making...
The video came out.
While others simply think that he is of no importance and is not to be taken seriously.
Okay.
Now, according to Christian belief, the false Messiah will be arrogant, he will exalt himself as God, and he will worship military power, and he will also be a total deceiver of the nations.
Yeah, that's my point, man. If he is exalted as God, Christians will believe it. They will believe it's Jesus.
Okay, that's according to Christian doctrine. So, if you don't know anything about the Orthodox or the ultra-Orthodox community in Israel, let me give you guys a little just brief history, okay? This community is not viewed...
I read it. Okay, thanks guys. Boomer Bobby didn't see it. Thank you very much. I hear this, yeah. Okay, fantastic. Because lately there's always been advertisement as a first video, so I stopped looking at the first video. That's why, but yeah. Shame on me! Shame on me!
About the alleged Messiah.
It's already late here. It's 11 p.m. guys.
In Israel, he has caught the attention of many social media platforms, literally within a matter of weeks. I mean, I know you guys have seen this too. Like, he is all over YouTube, all over TikTok. Everybody's making such a big deal about him. But let's see if he really is.
I haven't heard about him. I really
Some
haven't.
Christians claim that he is the false Messiah spoken of in the book of Revelation and in the book of Daniel,
Okay.
while others simply think that he is of no importance and is not to be taken seriously. Now, according to Christian belief, the false Messiah will be arrogant, he will exalt himself as God, and he will worship military power, and he will also be a total deceiver of the nations. According to Judaism, which is not necessarily the same as Christianity, well, actually, it's not the same at all.
Yeah, exactly. Not necessarily the same. Actually, not at all. Yeah, not at all, bro.
The Messiah is a future Jewish king from the David lineage, who is
Okay.
expected to be anointed with holy anointing oil and rule the Jewish people during the Messianic age and world to come.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Jesus. Yeah,
Anyway,
exactly.
who is this that we're dealing with? Are we seeing the beginning of this prophecy come to pass? Well, let's try to figure out if he truly is the Christian
I haven't heard
Messiah
about this
and
guy
the
at all.
Jewish Messiah.
Thank you,
All of
guys.
the videos that I've seen of him appear to be recorded in Israel. So, in my opinion, we should probably take a look at what the Jews in Israel think about him.
Yeah, let's.
If he is supposed to be the false Messiah to Christians, this would mean that the Jews of that area think that he is the actual Messiah. So again, let's begin with what people in Israel think.
Let's go.
According to Israel Today News, we have received a lot of inquiries in recent weeks regarding reports that the Orthodox Jewish community in Israel has anointed the Messiah, which for Christians would mean a false Messiah. We say reports in quotation marks because this story appears nowhere in the Israeli media, not even in Orthodox Jewish news outlets that are almost as eager as their Christian counterparts to address this topic. Now, keep in mind, this is written from a Jewish website.
Okay,
It's kind of
shoot, come on.
strange if indeed a consensus had been reached in the Orthodox community regarding the identity of the Messiah. Still dedicated as we
And
were
they're all
trying to get
wearing
to the bottom
masks.
of this story, we reached out to
Wow.
the Orthodox Jewish contacts here in Jerusalem to ask what they knew. Not only had none of them heard about a messianic anointing, most were entirely unfamiliar with the young rabbi at the center of the claims, and I'm gonna butcher his name, so I'm just gonna let this robot say it.
Shlomo Yehuda.
So, I'm not trying to be a
Shlomo
buzzkill,
Yehuda.
but it seems like this guy doesn't really have any legitimacy on him being the false Messiah, according to Jews in Israel or according to Israeli.
Okay, so from what we saw just now, there is a guy that looks like pretty much everybody else there who is praying. And that's it. That's the video footage. So now, allegedly, some people think that this Yehuda Shlomo here, which is the funniest name by far, it sounds like a parody, is the false Messiah. But now, again, allegedly, according to this video here, nobody in the Jewish community really sees him as the Messiah or as the anointed one. So therefore, yeah, we have absolutely nothing.
being the false Messiah, according to Jews in Israel or according to Israeli civilians. They act like they haven't really even heard about him.
Okay.
But let's continue with the article. Rabbi
Shlomo Yehuda.
does
You cannot say
appear to
Shlomo
be a
Yehuda.
genuine prodigy with the ability to recite the Torah and other religious Jewish texts by heart.
Okay.
Well, that is pretty impressive, I'm not gonna lie. He's been doing this since he was a child, making him highly esteemed in certain Orthodox circles. This is where he got the label
Yarnena.
that's also appearing in all of the Christian videos and articles. In this context, the term is in comparison to child prodigy, though it's a little outdated since
Shlomo Yehuda.
is no longer a child. So he's kind of a child prodigy. He can recite the Torah, which is very impressive. So there is something to be said about him. But let's continue.
Fair enough.
Being a prodigy can lead to
It's definitely much more complicated to recite the Torah than it would be to recite the Quran, that's for sure.
popularity and fame, but it doesn't make someone a Messiah. And as we noted earlier,
Shlomo Yehuda.
popularity and fame doesn't seem to extend beyond the particular stream of Orthodox Judaism to which he belongs, and the
Okay.
crowds that greeted him. As for the clip of him at the Western Wall, this occurred at the annual event that begins the counting of the Omer during the week of Passover.
Yeah, it's nothing special itself. So if he is a big figure within the Orthodox community, when we see our priests, archbishops in Orthodox Christianity, they get greeted like gods as well. People are kissing their hands and whatnot. So therefore, this is nothing strange up until now. We would really have to have a consensus of people saying, of Jews saying, this is our Messiah.
That's why the holy site was so crowded. It was not a special event to honor this rabbi. I repeat, it was not a special event to honor this man. But if you're like me and you're on TikTok or YouTube a lot, it looks like that event was completely centered around this rabbi. Why did senior rabbis fawn over him? Well, he's a famous rabbi, again, in some circles, and is recognized as a child prodigy and even an adult prodigy. So he's a child prodigy.
Thank you, guys.
The entire Torah, and he's greatly respected. So, with this information being said, what do we do with it? Does
Nothing.
This news article from Israel Today completely shut down the idea of this man not being the false Messiah? Not necessarily, but it doesn't really help his case. Personally, I don't think he is of any importance as of right now, but just because
Okay, yeah, this video doesn't really show us much more than we already know now. There is no real definitive proof here, and from this one little video I cannot extract anything meaningful, so I would have to look further into this figure. And moreover, of course, we would have to hear Jews saying that he is the Messiah. Otherwise, we have absolutely nothing. Because once they start claiming that he is the Messiah, then we would have a case to say, okay, therefore he is a false Messiah. He is the false Messiah indeed. But as long as we don't have that, he's simply an exalted figure within the Orthodox circles. Then that's all we got, literally. So, thank you very much again for the super chat, brother. Biggest super chat of tonight. But I cannot tell you more about this. I would have to do further research and see, as I said, who this guy is within the Jewish context. Thank you very much. Esmedin, Hvala lijepo, appreciate it. Fatih donated $1. Thank you very much, Fatih. Greetings from Germany, brother. Schöne Grüße. Did you hear about the story of Gog and Magog? Or Gog and Magog? I'm not too sure how you pronounce it. But yeah, I heard about it. But not in detail, and many people already recommended for me to react to certain videos about Gog and Magog. So I have saved some in my playlist, and God willing, I will record a reaction soon, hopefully. Mohammed donated €3. Thank you very much, Mohammed. It helps a lot when you talk about hedonism, nihilism, and all these schisms, because they just have nothing to offer, but are pushed through with all their might. Yeah, this is why they are pushed through with all their might, because they have nothing to offer. Because this mainstream doesn't want to give you anything valuable or sustainable. They want to keep you on a short leash and make you seek the next best thing. And this is why with hedonism is essentially you have perfection for the consumer market, because you will consistently just try to pleasure yourself and get the next big thing, be it a material good or be it an experience, a holiday or whatnot, and therefore you will run after that. But like that you will never be sustained and happy, because without God it is impossible. Moreover, you might fall into depression, highly likely, and then you're going to become a patient of the pharma industry on top of that. Yeah. Thank you very much, Mohammed. Maz Ahmed donated 400 rupee, I believe. Quality matters. One video a day is absolutely okay. Sorry for the question on when will you revert. Allah looks at your heart. May Allah guide everyone. Want to see you happy both in this world and the hereafter. Thank you very much for that. And yeah, absolutely. For me, quality matters as well. And especially what matters for me is simply doing what I like to do. It really is the case. So yeah, sure, if I could double my income through 2 videos, that would be surely great. But at the same time, I would probably get bored by the Islamic videos, and that wouldn't be good at all. So therefore, it has to be sustainable as well. And therefore, 1 per day is fine for me. That works. And yet again, I'm not watching 1 video per day and then I just upload it to YouTube and that's it. I sit down, for example, and record videos for multiple hours. And then when I have 6, 7 videos, whatever, then I start editing them for the rest of the following week. And then I have to record again. So, yeah, it's a bit more extensive as you would think. But yeah, I'm happy with the schedule as for right now as well. And for when, only God knows. I really cannot give you a date whatsoever. Malik donated $1. Thank you very much, Malik. In my opinion, you should prioritize finding the answer to the question, is Muhammad, peace be upon him, a prophet of God? Yeah, there's not so much. There's not so much of a real concern any longer for me personally, if you know what I mean. So that's not really the main thing. But anyways, yeah, there are certain questions that I'm just wrestling with internally, but this is not the main question for me anymore. Thank you very much, Malik. Henry donated $5. Thank you very much, Henry. You're absolutely right. Inner freedom can never be taken from us, thank God. I was more so thinking about not being able to travel the world as much. Sure, go on adventures, have fun, and starting a family. I imagine it's not as fulfilling anyways. No, yet again, I personally like to go on adventures, travel the world, have fun, and I started a family. So you can do all of those things. About those things you have to be smart, but even if they take all of that away from you, you're still free internally. That's just what it is. But nevertheless, about those other things, you have to be smart about it, man. Now we're at a time where people could just travel from one edge of the world to the next, and it would just cost them a few bucks, right? And now flights are getting more expensive again. But I think that's not necessarily bad even, because it will change the eco structure as well. For example, here in Thailand, man, honestly, I have to say, so many people, they get cheap flights, then they come over here, get cheap alcohol, and then they get cheap women, you know? That's a mess. It just makes this whole beautiful country disgusting, ultimately. And if it's more expensive and not everybody can just come down here for a cheap holiday, maybe that's a better idea after all. And people actually have to work for that luxury as they used to, because flying used to be a luxury. So anyways, long story short, all of those things, thank God, you can still do, and especially starting a family. You just have to be smarter about things in this day and age, and that is as well survival of the fittest and adaptation. It's all fine and dandy. I believe that we all, if we put our effort in, we can make it. It's really not that complicated, but you have to be smarter about it. You can't just rely on your employer, go to the job, and then, ooh, thank God, at some point I'm going to get my pension, and now everything is peachy. No, your life is over, nothing is peachy, and you just wasted yourself away, slaving away, waste your life away. So, yeah, all I'm saying is, focus on your internal freedom, but all of those things you can do. No worries. And especially starting a family, you can definitely do. That doesn't take much. Just a wife and a couple of fun minutes. That's it. Thank you very much, Henry, again. Yusuf donated $10. Thank you very much, Yusuf. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Alaikum salam, brother. I would like to suggest a video that you might react to. It's called The Purpose of Life, Jeffrey Lang. Love from Palestine. Much love to Palestine, free Palestine. That being said, I started watching it a bit. I was thinking about the reaction, but it's so long. So I'm going to watch it in my spare time, because for a reaction video, I think it's over an hour or so. It's impossible, because then the reaction video would be 3 hours long. Today, really crazy, I reacted to a video of Rumi. And the video was 1 minute 50. The whole reaction video in total, after cutting it, is still 15 minutes long. Yeah, because 90% I'm talking and the rest was listening to the video. So with a video that is so long, man, I'm never going to stop babbling, so it's not good for a reaction video, but I'm going to watch it in my spare time, God willing. Swixt, thank you very much for the $3, bro. Hey Bobby, could you react to this? I would like your perspective. Okay, let me open this up. What do we got here? Something from Zakir Naik. Dr. Zakir Naik, twisting the Quran. Hadith rejectors. Muslims for Allah. Okay, yeah, sure, I'm gonna save it to my reaction playlist, brother. Here, saved. Is this video here? Dr. Zakir Naik, twisting the Quran, Hadith rejectors. I saved it to my playlist, so God willing, we'll react to it soon. Thank you very much for your super chat and for your recommendation, bro. Hopefully soon I will react to it. Okay. Abdullah Alk, again, thank you very much for the $5. Have you read the Quran only once or more? Is there a specific surah or verse that stood out to you? I read the whole Quran only once, but I reread passages of it. I want to reread the whole Quran one more time. I really can't say that one specific passage. There are certain quotes, as I said. For example, Allah guides who He wills. Allah's pattern is never changing. Those things just stuck with me a lot. But there's not one specific passage where I have to say, this is the one. Which one of the favors of your Lord will you deny? Very powerful as well. So there are just certain sentences that really stuck with me, but not a particular surah necessarily. And lately I've been focused on Al-Fatiha because I want to learn it. But yeah, that's basically it. There's nothing where I can say this surah is it necessarily. There's always sentences where I find little gems here and there that really stuck with me for the longest time. Thank you very much, Abdullah Spartakos. Welcome to the team. Became a basic guy. Welcome to the team, bro. Thank you very much. And this one didn't show up here. Okay, Fatih, $1. Thank you, Fatih. Would be nice if you react to the video, the location of Jajuj, Majuj, Gog and Magog. Sheikh Asrar Rashid. They claim that they found the wall of iron between two mountains in Kyrgyzstan. It's very interesting. Okay, sure. I'm saving that too. Thank you very much. Okay. Let me look this up as well. Just saving the video real quick. 1 second, guys. Here we go. Okay. And guys, thank you so much for your ongoing support here. What happened? Why am I up here? I just flew to the top. Thank you so much for the ongoing support. We're already at 2 hours, guys. Fair warning, 5 to a maximum. Thank you, guys. So 5 to a maximum of 10 minutes. If you want to support now, but then I will have to tune out because already 11:15 p.m. here. I will have to catch some sleep at some point. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, guys. Really amazing support tonight. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Thank you. Okay, video saved. Thank you. Now... Kappelmeier. $5. Thank you very much. Kappelmeier, good to see you, bro. How can you truly know if you are guided by God or Shaitan is playing with you and makes you just believe? I find it hard because I was misled many times. Yeah, that is really a genuine question, and I think that we are all afraid of it. So what I learned ultimately for myself is to ask for guidance, because every time I asked for something, I believe that I open myself up for the deception, right? So when I pray for something specific, let's take a very basic argument, right? We are praying for some sort of material good, then it's very easy for the Shaitan, for Satan to step in and to misguide us, because we are seeking something. But if we simply pray for guidance, lately I've been praying not only for guidance, because I think that God gives us His guidance freely if we ask for it, but I was praying for eyes to see, right? For eyes to see, for eyes to distinguish. And I think that this is the only thing we can do. We can genuinely ask to be among the guided ones and to have eyes to see, to have ears to hear, and not to pray for something. That is my recipe, and I've been doing quite well with it. Thank God, honestly, glory to God, it's amazing. But yeah, once I stopped praying for something and I started praying for His will to be done, essentially, you find that within Christianity as well. So then it makes sense, and I feel very guided, thank God. Yeah. That's what I can say about that. Thank you, Kappelmeier. Appreciate it. Ahmad Savaha donated 50 dirham. Thank you very much, brother. Hi, Bobby. Just an advice. Focus on the Quran. words of the Prophet are important, of course, but the Quran is what's important to enter the heaven. And it's the only book that is not corrupted. Honestly, intuitively, that's literally how I do it. So I mentioned before that I do not trust Hadith to 100%. And what I noticed in my journey is, even if evidence is presented, I accept it for sure. I'm not going to argue against it. I'm not a scholar, so all good.
Let's create a bright, green future where we all feel compassion.
But you have literally a science of everything nowadays, so you have even people that are making the Trinity into a science, and if it doesn't resonate with one, then you cannot make yourself believe in it, and therefore there are certain hadiths, they are definitely valuable to me as well. Then there are others, even though they are sahih, I'm thinking to myself, okay, cool. The point of the story is I take the Quran as a reference, so when I read it, that's all I needed to know, ultimately. And then the rest is kind of on top, you know. So I absolutely agree with you. Again, I'm not here to criticize any scholar that dedicate their lives to Hadith. It's absolutely amazing work, all good. But I simply don't feel guided through Hadith. I find them interesting. There could be a little bit of a benefit by reading them, but I just don't feel myself truly guided through those Hadith. But the Quran, on the other hand, is a different ballgame. Thank you very much, Ahmad. Ali Salmani donated $2. Thank you very much. What's your feeling about Judgment Day? My feeling about Judgment Day? Judgment Day is dread, right? So it's all in God's hands. I don't have a particular feeling about it. It must be rough. But at the same time, I just trust in God's judgment. And therefore it must be righteous and it must be the truth. So therefore I just accept it as what it is. No matter how horrific it might be, it is what it is. We have to go through it. Then this is what it is. So I'm not questioning it at all. Aussie Muslim, good to see you, brother. 20 Aussie dollars, thank you very much. Halo brate, alo, kako si? All the best for the new year, bro. For you as well, brother. Appreciate the shout out last time. The channel is really starting to grow now. Fantastic, man. Happy to hear that. Guys, subscribe to Aussie Muslim. Also, TikTok growing quick after a few days. Yeah, I think that if you do it right on TikTok, I'm certainly not doing it right on TikTok, but yeah, then it grows actually faster than YouTube. I sent an email on the 13th of December. You must have a lot. Yeah, I have a ton, bro. But I'm gonna check it again. And God willing, I'm gonna find it. Otherwise, you know what? Do me the favor, please, and just send another one. Just hi or something. So it goes up in my inbox, because I'm getting emails every single day. Multiple ones. All day, every day. That has been so much, man. Honestly, it's crazy. I really appreciate it, thank God, but it's so much I really lose track of all the emails. I cannot answer them all. So yeah, thank you very much. If you send an email, make sure just send me another one so I see it in my inbox. And other than that, guys, go subscribe to Aussie Muslim. Actually, let me see if we can find you now, because if your channel grew a little bit, let's see if it's enough if we Google Aussie Muslim. Otherwise, yeah, I can find you because I'm subscribed, right? Yeah, cool, here. 1.6k views already. That's good. That's really good for the beginning. I remember when I started YouTube, I barely got a few hundred views at first. 329 subscribers. At how many were we last time? See, I forgot. I would have to rewatch the live stream. But anyways, here. Guys, make sure to subscribe to Aussie Muslim. We had 329 subscribers. I forgot at how many we were last time. But we have new people watching now. Let's get this to 500 at least. And as you can see, I even watched your videos, man. Really good stuff. Very interesting story, revert story. For me personally, those stories are very interesting, of people from the Balkan actually converting to Islam. For me, that was, especially in the beginning, very shocking and surprising. I couldn't believe it. Nowadays, of course, I understand. But back in the day, it was extremely surprising. So yeah, Aussie Muslim, at Aussie Muslim. Make sure to subscribe. In the banner it says, Allah, there is no deity except Him. Make sure to adjust this on Photoshop, bro, so you can center it. You have to understand which pixel size you need, etc. And then you can actually frame this a bit better. Here we can see it. It's okay. A bit more in the center would be better so it doesn't disappear fully. Okay. Anyways, guys, make sure you subscribe. Thank you very much. Aussie Muslim. Appreciate. G'day, mate. Salam. Okay, some more super chats. And guys, then I'm tuning out, really. My eyes are falling into sleep mode. It has been a long, long day. Layla Mohammed donated 180. Thank you very much. Layla Bobby Surah al-Fatiha is like the Lord's Prayer. Absolutely. I absolutely agree with that. It's literally the same concept, which is beautiful. Because this is what Jesus taught as well.
Let's create a bright, green future where we all feel compassion.
Layla says, bro, you missed my chat about Abdul Rahim Green. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Guys, let me know in the chat now if I missed any super chats. I hope not. Layla says I did. I'm going through it. But I cannot find anything. It doesn't show up, Layla. At all. The Lord's Prayer shows up. I can try to look for your name. But that's not how it works. No. I can't find your super chat. I'm really looking for it. Nope. I can't find it, unfortunately. Apologies for that, but it seems Streamlabs kind of swallowed it, or the super chat button. I don't have it here. It's not there. Unfortunately. Sorry, Layla. Really looking, but I can't find it. It's not in here anymore. Okay, anyways. Let me see. Did I went through everything? Brother Yusuf super chatted another $1. Thank you very much. Okay. I see already wrote here. It's fine, bro. You can sleep, bro, if you can't find it. It's really not there. But you could have just pasted it into this new super chat. Then I could have answered. But yeah. Okay. Anyways, be that as it may, thank you nevertheless. Thank you so much. I hope I answered all the super chats now. If not, then sincere apologies, because I can only answer what I see here on my dashboard. And yeah, some things seem to get lost sometimes. Anyways, thank you very much, guys. Today was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for your ongoing support, watching the videos, liking the videos, sharing the videos. If you are in Telegram groups, Facebook groups, etc., make sure to share the videos there. Like that, we grow the channel. Thank you so much for that ongoing support, and thank you so much as well for supporting tonight, of course. Thank you very much, Mohammed, for the 10 SAR. Appreciate it so much. And yeah, as I was saying, I really appreciate your support here tonight. It was absolutely mind-blowing. Okay. It never stops. Thank you so much, guys. Really, I could do this forever here. Next time I have to start a bit earlier, so I'm a bit more awake. Anyways, guys, I really have to cut it off now. It's already 11:30. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. God willing, tomorrow starts a new week with a bunch of videos. Again, from Monday to Saturday, God willing, we should have videos in place. And then Sunday, I will try, but I'm not going to promise to stream as well on Sunday yet again. We will see how that goes. Until then, like the videos if you like them, support the channel if you can. Links in the description box as well if you want to further support. As always, guys, it's enough now. May God bless you all. Much love and Peace.